All right, it's the end of an era, taking out this line of totes. You know, there's lots of planning going on too, so it hasn't made for good videos. That's why really I haven't filmed a whole lot. Every sponge filter comes out, we've been washing and moving to keep it cycled for the new tanks to go back. And so I will say I'm doing it because I don't have the time to maintain 70 some odd containers of fish.
You have all sorts of time.
Yeah, even though I'm putting in more tanks, but less. If I do my job right, it'll be less at the end.
Be more.
Less is more in this scenario.
It could be, yeah.
We had to cut all the bulkheads, so couldn't salvage those, but we can save some of the piping and reuse that.
Yep.
And then these are all going to end up at the retail store for the new expansion to house ricefish and koi and goldfish and all that kind of stuff. So getting repurposed, and that's kind of where it's a slow and steady. The store's got to be ready to take them. We don't want them just sitting outside forever and a day.
Right.
And a lot of little things in the works. So we've completely changed plans from building stands over here to putting it against the wall and having a tank on the side here. Dean's bringing in the first material of how we're gonna do it. That's right, we're going old school cinder block stand because this is for a special project that might not be super long term. If it is, that's great. You know you don't have to carry those above your head.
You don't?
So as long as 2 blocks are within this, we've got that, whatever that distance is going to be, we can play
So
with.
you want me to go get another block?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, we'll get another block.
We were checking the level of the stand and the floor here, so it's like 1/8 of an inch off, but that might level off with water.
So
Yeah, that's going to sit back way back. So we got room to.
So we should pull it out a little.
Yeah.
Maybe
We could probably.
like out to here, maybe.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable.
Plenty of room. Anything
Yeah.
we want to do back there. Rats can run back there.
Yep. What are you going to do with that old man tool?
I'm gonna go like this.
Okay, that's pretty smart. I've never used one of those to build one. No wonder my stands were so bad. 2 blocks here, the center, and the end. We intentionally bought 10-foot boards, which cost a little bit more. We intentionally also bought, this is from previous learnings from me, kiln dried wood.
Right.
Last time when I did this, after being in the fish room for like 6 months, a couple boards curled on the top edge. So I'm hoping that by running with a higher quality lumber that is already kiln dried, we'll avoid that. I never had a problem, never had a leak or anything, so.
We also look down and they're very straight.
These boards are amazing compared to Home Depot. And the price difference, we were just at both places, the price difference was about 70 cents. And these seem night and day better.
Way better.
And great employees to help us, so that was good. So, but these are gonna sit in between, the tanks are gonna sit on here, and so we have to measure that out, get the 3 rows set. We'll put the first one on and we'll chime back in so you guys can see what we're doing. All right, so we're adjusting the second tier, which if you don't use a level and a square kind of at every level, by the time you're putting water on it, it can be quite off. It's very easy to think you have it straight and then you put the next set of blocks on and they're off a little bit. So we've left ourselves some extra tolerance.
Right.
And the way we did that, by the way, 10-foot boards, the center blocks are only 6 inches. So these are 8-inch blocks.
So
We
that
gain
gives
an
us another
inch, yeah.
Inch of.
So we're gonna have basically 3 inches in each one of play a little bit when we put the tanks in. Now these ones are gonna go pretty tall, and when you're building, everyone says, what about an earthquake? Or they're not very stable. Once you put water in them, they lock
stable.
together. Now,
Locked in.
nothing's earthquake proof, but yeah,
It's
exactly.
team-proof.
Like it's pretty good.
That's pretty dang solid.
You know, anything that takes, I've always say anything that's gonna take this down the way we build them is taking down any aquarium stand, and tanks snap and that kind of stuff. So
Right.
for, you know, it's gonna hold. You know, once we clean up the dust and all that, and you put the tanks in, right now I know the look is like, but you have that, why would you put this? Once we get rid of the top lighting, the tanks are lit and they're in, it will look different as a finished product. So if you want to do it in a house, something like that, maybe you paint them or you can dress it up at the end. But for now, this is very structural and for a project. All right, so we took out all of those toes today. Those are on their sides so they don't collect water, and the next week we'll be moving them to the retail expansion. So there will be a tank here, we have it, it's in the garage, and a canopy, so in theory you wouldn't even see any of that beyond. You can see this is how this rack turned out. It just so happened, happy accident, that 5 fit on top. I knew there was gonna be some extra space. I didn't think it would be, you know, just a little bit more. I also forgot that the tanks I had made for the warehouse are like 23 3/4.
Yeah.
So each one saved us that 1/4 inch. That helped a little bit. You might be noticing there's kind of a big gap here. It's because the tanks are 30 inches front to back. So these are what we use at the warehouse for all the plants you guys order. And they're 2 feet left to right, 30 inches front to back, and then 12 inches tall. Put in the comments what you think we're gonna do with this wall. I've got a special project, something actually that I've never done before. Where do you wanna go to eat, Dean? So we've been doing back-breaking labor, like my lower back is a little bit hot.
Someplace with air conditioning.
Mexican food, or we can go have fish at like Bonefish Grill or something.
Anything. We could go to Sonic.
We could go to Sonic, but yeah, this is pretty much what we're gonna get done for today. We did buy plumbing supplies, and boy howdy, did it get expensive. At one point we needed 30 of something, they had 5. Part of the reason we have to stop today is it's dinner time and we haven't eaten all day. And 2, I literally have to order parts and seek them out for the plumbing part. The bulkheads, which by the way, we carry on our website. So normally we'd be waiting on those, but now I just have to go to my own warehouse, and we have good prices in my opinion on bulkheads, all the way from 1/2 inch to 2 inch. It was one of my, let's start selling these because I use these all the time and I'm tired of paying other people, and they were kind of extorting people on Amazon. They were getting,
They are, yeah.
I decided to do our own, so they're made in the US for us, because they were, the 2 inch ones were over $12 a piece, and I was like, I need hundreds of these.
And for those guessing what's gonna go here, there will probably be another one of these same racks built.
Yep, that's the
here.
plan. Give us some ideas. What would you do with this big of a space? I'm trying to downsize the tanks. Ideally, I'd love to get down to 30, but there's like 30 totes right here. So a lot of the stuff has to go away and replaced with bigger tanks. We fit an extra tank over here, which I'm happy and sad about, because I was like, okay, 8 tanks, that's not so bad. And then okay, it's 9. It's already growing without even intentionally growing. Like 9, we need to look at good. Okay, that's 10 right there.
Right.
And then we put another 9, like that's 19, and I only wanted 30. Like this is getting already out of control.
Right.
You know, maybe some sit down areas, kind of want to put in some pinball machines, air hockey, that kind of stuff. Because when people come over, they like to look at fish, but they also like to hang out. If you can sit down, you enjoy fish a lot more. If you have to just walk, I've got a lot of, you know, family and kids that walk through, and if they could sit down and play games and all that, I think they would actually enjoy the nature more. Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah, the sit down part right next to Elmer and the tanks, and that's what I think is meant to be happening. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's we'll clean up and we'll go eat. That's a wrap, Dean.
Sounds good.
Till the next time.
Until next time.